It's happening! Yo, what is up everyone? My name is Jack Krause and welcome back to the episode of Inside Lines. Hope you guys are having a great day on this Friday afternoon or Friday evening by the time I upload this video. Let's not waste any time and jump right into it. The first story revolves around Erik Jones. Erik Jones, we know the story with him leaving Joe Gibbs Racing at the end of the 2020 season. His spot will be taken by Christopher Bell, who originally drove the 95 car for Levi Family Racing, which is shutting down at the end of this season. Now the question has always been, where will Erik Jones go? Well, according to Adam Stern, he has, as of late, been in talks with Richard Petty Motorsports to replace Bubba Wallace, who is leaving to the newly formed Michael Jordan Denny Hamlin Racing Team in 2021. Now, this is not a very surprising move. I think Erik Jones was always on the top of the list in terms of drivers to take over the 43 car next year. And he's the most successful when you take a look at free agents on the market. He has numerous Xfinity wins, a former Truck Series champion. He's the most successful of the bunch. The only problem is that when you take a look at Cup success, he hasn't had that much. Only 2 wins in the 20 car. When take a look at the driver that formerly drove that car, Matt Kenseth, the last 3 or 4 years, he has won numerous races in that 20 machine. So for Erik Jones to only win 2 races in his 4 years at Joe Gibbs, it doesn't look good, to say the least. But again, he's still the most talented. The unfortunate part about this is that he doesn't bring in little, if any, sponsorship to the table. And unfortunately, that's the part of NASCAR nowadays, where if you want to be successful, if you want to get a top ride, you need sponsorship. We saw with Bubba Wallace last year. He was not running that well. As soon as the team started to get sponsorship this year, the team started to run better. And that's how it is. The more sponsorship you get, the more money the team gets. Spend better parts, you get the whole idea. So if Erik Jones takes over the 43 car, which more than likely he will, I feel like RPM will be in the same situation they were with Aric Almirola, I feel like. I think Jones is very talented enough to bring the 43 car to about the same level that Bubba Wallace brought it to this season. Top 20, top 15 is what I'm expecting from that 43 team. Mainly because of the state of condition they're in at the moment, or especially now when Bubba Wallace leaves and takes all that sponsorship away. That's going to put Rich Petty Motorsports back in a hole that they were around 2018. Again, I think Jones is talented enough. He's going to help that team a lot. Do I think he's going to bring the team back up to the playoffs? Not necessarily, and if so, it's going to take a few years. Maybe when the next gen car comes in 2022, the team can start a rebuilding process and be able to be competitive later on in the future, similar to how Trackhouse is approaching this mindset. Then I could possibly see that, but as of next year, if Erik Jones goes to Rich Petty Motorsports, I won't expect much from that team, mainly because of the state of condition that they were in prior to this whole issue between Bubba Wallace and sponsorship. And now let's take a look at our Inside Lines Rapid Fire 3 so to talk about in this episode. For the first time since Martinsville 2015, 5 years ago, former Truck Series champion James Buescher will run in the series at next weekend's Texas Motor Speedway. Nice Motorsports announced Friday that the 30-year-old Buescher, who won the 2012 series title, will drive for one of the team's trucks in the October 25th race. James Buescher walked away from the sport in 2015 and got into the real estate business. He stated that though back in April that he would love to return to racing. He said, quote, "I've kicked around the idea of going truck or Xfinity racing again. I don't have a doubt in my mind that I could go race a truck right now and be competitive and compete for wins, if not on the championship. I'm not old and in way better shape than I was 8-10 years ago, and I'm much more mature than I was back then." And congratulations to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Amy Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced on the latest episode of the Dale Jr. Download that he and his wife Amy are once again parents. Amy gave birth to their second daughter, Nicole Lorraine, on Monday. Congratulations to the Earnhardt family. And tonight, the ARCA Menard Series will end their season at the Kansas Speedway tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Brett Holmes and Michael Self are the only 2 drivers that are going to be able to compete for the championship. Holmes has only a bare minimum of 8 points ahead of the 25 car of Michael Self. Again, catch it tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. And now let's talk about the story that I'm pretty sure 98.2% of you skipped to. Yes, we're going to be talking about Kyle Larson. Look, whether you like it or not, Larson, this whole thing between Larson, NASCAR, Hendrick Motorsports, 88 or the 57 or whatever the number is going to be called, It's happening. Earlier today, Kyle Larson, for the first time ever, gave an interview since the incident took place in April when he said the N-word in an iRacing stream and got fired from Chip Ganassi Racing. He gave his first interview on CBS this morning with Jim Brown, an African-American sportscaster who originally is known for his roles on the NFL on CBS and the NFL Today. Now, I really recommend that you guys check out this interview. I'll leave a link in the description down below, mainly because this is the first time we see Larson talk about this issue specifically with his voice. Anytime, whether we see Larson or, just see anything about Larson regarding this topic, it's usually either in photos of him doing charitable work with African-American communities or in writing, like the essay that he gave on his website. We've never heard him talk about it. And I've always felt like hearing people talk gets the message across a lot faster than on paper, because you can see their face, you can see how they're speaking, how you can see a lot more with someone speaking about it with their face rather than you just seeing it on paper. He discussed his suspension from NASCAR and the efforts he has made to overcome that. He's also stated that he wants a second opportunity back at NASCAR. Those first two statements, that has been already known for a while now, but this new revelation came out, first reported by Fox Sports' Bob Pockrass, that Larson finally has applied for reinstatement from NASCAR. Now, this has always been speculated for a long time. When will Larson be reinstated? Because if he's being reported for the Hendrick car, for the 88 car, as Bowman goes to the 48. He's been speculated a long time to replace Bowman. The problem is he can't go to the 88 if he's not reinstated. So we were wondering, when will he be reinstated? Well, now he has. At least he has applied for reinstatement. I heard from NASCAR that it could take a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure more than likely, if they were to announce something, they're probably going to announce it at the end of the season, maybe, so that it doesn't cause, I guess you could say, chaos during the playoffs, where the main story should be focusing on the playoffs. I don't think it'd be a good idea for NASCAR to announce this in the middle of the playoffs when this would just cast a shadow over it, or not really a shadow, but not many people would be talking about the playoffs. They would just be talking about Larson. It's still publicity for NASCAR, but it's just, I don't think they want all the media focused on Larson at the moment. But it makes me think. So he gives an interview for the first time on Friday. That very same day, he applies for reinstatement. Bowman goes to the 48. The 88 is open. Lumnar, which is a company that sponsors Alex Bowman, or at least sponsored the 88 car, the CEO has had talks with Kyle Larson. It's like the dominoes are starting to fall place. It's like one domino falls to another domino, which falls to another domino. All these things are starting to stack up to Larson asking for reinstatement on the same day he gives out an interview for the first time. Basically, gives out an interview to America for the first time since that incident. Applies for reinstatement. It just, everything just seems too, it just seems too perfect for it to not happen. Like, it seems like it's meant to happen. And I know there's a lot of people that think that Larson should be banned for a couple of years, or that he should go through the process that Kurt Busch went through, where he went, after he got fired from Team Penske, he went through the ranks of Phoenix Racing, Furniture Row Racing for 2 years, before jumping ship to Stewart-Haas Racing. But let's be honest, Kyle Larson, in a situation like this, talent speaks a lot in this sort of issue. So I know a lot of people want Larson to go through that Kurt Busch route, but I just don't see that happening. I see him automatically 2021 at Hendrick Motorsports replacing Alex Bowman, regardless whether it's the 88 car or the 57 car or the 25 or the 5 or whatever the number is. Larson, I feel like, will be at Hendrick Motorsports in 2021. I'm sorry, but there's just way too many things lining up perfectly for this to happen. I'm honestly so convinced to the point where if this doesn't happen, I will be in complete shock, just because, again, everything just lines up. It's too perfect for it to not happen. So, this next week after Kansas, I think in the weeks, or in the days leading up to the end of the season, very interested in seeing what's the conversation going to be like between NASCAR, Larson, and Hendrick Motorsports. But that will conclude this episode of Inside the Lines. Guys, before I end this video off, first of all, number one, what do you think of this Jeff Gordon shirt? Just bought it. It looks good on me. I think it looks good. All right, it looks really good. All right, enough about talking about me. But I have an announcement to make this weekend, starting, I guess you could say starting tonight, really. I'm going to upload a bunch of videos, race day videos, hopefully victory stop videos. I'll even try to include the ARCA or recap the ARCA race if anything happens. I'll let you guys know on that. But we got a lot of stuff I have planned for you guys this weekend. Going to be covering the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup races this season, or at least for Kansas. I will try to make it for the rest of the season. But for right now, Kansas, to make up what happened last weekend at the Charlotte Roval. I had everything ready to upload an MDK race day for the Charlotte Roval preview for the Cup race, but everything just fell apart on when race day came, and I was not able to upload it. So I wanted to repay you guys by giving you more videos. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. But until next time, my name is JettMDK, from MDK, and I'll see you guys next time.